Hello, awesome people. I hope you're having an amazing day today. Today we're taking a look at Warrior Coupe. It's the third book in the Warrior trilogy by Michael A. Stackpole. This is the first, the third book in the trilogy that started Michael Stackpole's career. It was published in early 1989, a couple of months after the first two were published. My collection, this is a republication by Rock, was republished about 10 years later, so it's a 10th anniversary edition in 1999, right before the millennium. So this is one of the first things that was written in the Battletech universe by Michael A. Stackpole's Warrior trilogy that I've been going back and doing a deeper dive into some of the things for you. It's military science fiction in basic genre, but it's really more of a political thriller with the battles much lesser. Things that are happening in it. It tells the story of the Fourth Succession War in the Battletech universe, which got started proper about 2/3 or to 3/4 of the way through the second novel. So the whole first novel of this trilogy then is setting up the players and the stakes. The second one is the wedding book. It says chapters on the wedding itself, but only like maybe but then only was the Fourth Succession War, and then the last fifth or fourth of the book has the actual proper war beginning, and now we're doing the middle and the end of the Fourth Succession War proper, and then that's it. That's the trilogy by Michael A. Stackpole. Michael A. Stackpole's stuff in this series tends to be the stuff that pushes the plot forward, rather than just just another military science fiction story. The first person who wrote the first novel that was published was 1986, just a couple of years earlier. Then this in 1989, or the first books in the trilogy by Michael A. Stackpole in 88, which was Decision at Thunder Rift by William H. Keefe Jr., which I've just gone back recently for you, and then I reviewed for you. And I definitely enjoyed it a lot. It was a lot of fun. And I'm going to be giving this one a 7 out of 10 rather than a 7+ like the William H. Keefe stuff, which has better combat scenes and definitely is more detailed and interesting, and definitely feels much more fleshed out than this does. For example, the Fourth Succession War starts at the end of the wedding in the second book, and then we pass like months until we find out what's actually happening and get caught up with it. I just don't like that method of storytelling a massive war. Coming out of having read this stuff when I was a kid, or in this case a teenager, or in college too, I was reading some of this stuff. I definitely was like, I thought Michael Stackpole was my favorite author, but going back and reading this stuff now in middle age, I preferred the first trilogy of William H. Keefe stuff to the first trilogy of Michael Stackpole. But now he's got a trilogy under, so now we'll see where things wind up going before we move forward with the next sort of thing. Which will be Wolves on the Border by Robert and Tourette. Now, this one was originally published by FASA, the company that publishes the Battletech stuff, and then Rock took over, and so a lot of the early stuff was republished. All the early stuff was republished except for one novel, which I have never read because I don't own a copy of it. It's like hundreds of dollars on the secondary market, so no thanks. I just won't read it. Anyway, so there you are. That kind of gets you caught up with it. Now, Battletech is set in the 31st century. It has we have colonized and settled thousands of star systems and systems and colonies and so forth out there in the intervening centuries of the millennium that are probably passed between now and then. But it is we never found any intelligent alien life. Therefore, we have brought all of our own issues with you, and just as antagonistic as we are towards each other in the modern era, we are in the future era too. We haven't found themselves like Star Trek or something like that, or evolved. We haven't come across aliens to unite humans against or something like that, right? Instead, we are pushing ourselves against each other rather than against uniting ourselves. So that's really cool. I like that sort of central conceit of the universe. So that's pretty cool. For about 300 years under the Star League, everything was fine and people were uniting. Everybody was happy. It was considered a golden era, and then after the American coup happens, and then the Civil War happens, and we have 300 years now of just succession wars that have fallen, and people have gotten using weapons of mass destruction again, and they're attacking cities again, they're attacking infrastructure again, that sort of thing, and attacking food distribution and those sorts of things again for the first couple succession wars. Although now in the third and fourth, that's less likely to happen. And these succession wars go on for decades or centuries. And so we've definitely gone into a darker place as a result. And enter a fourth succession war, which this trilogy which is pretty quick, and which this trilogy tells the story of after a few years. So it's a fierce in length and definitely epic in story. And that's it. That's Warrior Coupe, the Warrior trilogy. That's over with, and that's the universe. And you can get involved in that universe in cartoons or on the card collecting game put out by Wizards of the Coast, or the video games that are put out right now. There's a MechWarrior Online. There's a Battletech video game that came out a few years ago, right? So you can engage it. Or there's a role-playing game called MechWarrior. There's the initial war game, which I love, called Battletech, that sort of thing. So I've been going back and starting to read some of the things that I read when I was in grade school, junior high, college, or high school, and that I've never gone back and reread again. And I think there's value in that, saying, oh, so what do I think about this thing now as an adult? And so when I was in 10th grade, I started reading the Battletech stuff, but I've never actually gone back and reread it. So there you are. Now I'm going back and reading it and see what I think of it. So that's why we're doing this stuff again for you. And there you are. I'll go ahead and leave it to it. Have you read Warrior Coupe or anything else by Stackpole? If so, what did you think of it? I would be more than happy to talk about the spoilers. Once again, I keep my reviews spoiler free. So if you want to talk about spoilers in the comments below, let's do it. But there you are. I'll go ahead and leave you to it. You have an amazing day. Thanks so much for your time and investing it and watching my video. We all have so many things that are happening in our lives, and we're pulled in so many different directions. And if you enjoyed this video, hey, why not hit that subscribe button? There's going to be a lot more of these to follow. And then thanks again, and have an amazing day.